Hello, Glowells, and welcome back to Glow and Grow with Mo. So, today we are going to be talking about skincare. And actually, my 48-year-old skincare routine that I follow to keep me looking pretty AF. So, if you're interested in learning more about the products that I use, the supplements that I also use, and some of the tools that I have in my toolbox to keep my skin glowing, firm, and youthful looking, keep watching. So, before I dive into the details of my 48-year-old skincare routine that I follow to keep me pretty AF, let me first say that I am not an esthetician. I am not a medical expert. I'm just sharing what I do for my 48-year-old face. And I'm going to also be sharing some tips on methods for applying these products and for other things that you can use to get the most out of your products. So, just not to be vain, okay, we're not vain around here, but we are confident. I get lots of compliments on my skin. Very often they're saying, "Oh my gosh, you're glowing. Oh, your skin looks so good. It's so clear." And quite honestly, it's gotten to this point with lots of work, lots of consistency and discipline, because the truth of the matter is, I'm acne prone and I have super duper oily skin. So it's funny when they say I'm glowing, the minute they walk away, I'm like looking in the mirror, like, am I oily? So it's all relative, right? But I feel like my skin over the years has only gotten better because of these products and supplements and tools that I'm going to share with you. But once again, I feel it's gotten this way because of the consistency. Couple things. I don't go to sleep with makeup on my face. I don't overwash my face. I'll be talking about that in a little bit. I'm very particular about the temperature that I of the water on my face. And there are also some other things that I do consistently to keep the germs and the oil at bay because of the bacteria and the germs. I'm prone to acne, so I have to be really careful about stuff like that. So I'm going to jump into sharing the products with you. And before you ask, all the products are going to be linked below in case you want to try any of these items or do your own research. And I encourage you to do your own research before you purchase or you try anything that I've recommended or some other content creator has recommended. But I've been using a lot of these products for 3-4+ years, and they have only gotten better. They've only made my skin better over the time with the consistency and use. And there are a few things that I'll be sharing later on in this series of videos around things that I do to stay pretty AF. And just so you know, this is going to be part of a pretty AF series where I'll be sharing my skincare routine, which is today. I'll be sharing my body care routine. I'll be sharing information around how I manage my weight. Also, I'll be sharing some things that I want to try, right? In my last video around reinvention, I talked about, for me, this season is all around beauty maxing. And so although I feel like a lot of the things I'm sharing with you work really well, like I said, they've only worked better as more consistently I've used them, there are some things I want to try. And so I am going to bring you all along with me, but I do want to share in a video some of my thoughts and maybe even get some feedback from you all on if there are some things that you've tried that you would give me you would want to share your thoughts on. So anyway, let's jump into my skincare routine that I follow at 48 years old to say pretty AF. So let me go first to my cleansers. So one of the things that I have found works, and I've been doing this for several years, a friend recommended this to me, is I double wash in the evenings. Sometimes I will wash my face in the mornings, but if I've done like a lot of double washing, if I've used certain exfoliators, which I'll share with you, sometimes I'll just use a lukewarm cloth to wipe my face in the morning and then follow the rest of my skincare routine versus actually using a cleanser. But at night, whether I wear makeup that day or not, because I always wear sunscreen, but whether I wear makeup that day or not, I always double wash. So the first wash is going to be my Face Reality El Mandelic Face and Body Wash. I have been using Face Reality products for the better part of 4 years. And this is what's really, this whole series of products is what has helped me get my acne and my oily skin under control. So I was introduced to it by a Face Reality certified esthetician. And I'll be sure to not just link the products I use, but also the Face Reality site so you can search for an esthetician in your area that's certified. But their products are not only amazing quality and effective, I find, as you would find with other like acne or high-end skincare products, are actually more affordable than you might expect. And so this mandelic face wash is an active face wash. It has mandelic acid in it, but I use this as my first wash. It really gets the gunk and the buildup of the sunscreen and the makeup as my first wash. Now, I know a lot of people use those oil-based cleansing balms. I can't use those. I have acne, oily skin, right? So I have attempted those, and talk about a breakout. Like, it's awful. So in lieu of using those oil-based makeup sort of like balm cleansers, I use this. I foam it up with lukewarm water. I get it nice and bubbly, and I cleanse my face on with this. And another thing, in addition to double washing, let your cleanser sit on your face for like 30 seconds. I think we are sometimes in such a rush to cleanse and rinse and just get through our routine. We don't let our skincare actually do its job. And so because this has an active in it, for me, I find going through cleansing, and mind you, I don't just do my face, I do my neck and the top of my chest, but I find just letting it sit for like 20, 30 seconds before I rinse it off, for me, seems to make a difference. So the first step is washing with this mandelic face wash. And after that, consistently, I have used this darker skin tones enzyme cleanser. I can say that, darker skin tone enzyme cleanser by Dr. Barbara Sturm. I get this from Sephora, although I was in Dallas recently, and she actually has a store in one of the villages in Dallas. I forget what the name of the village was, but it's like one of the higher end shopping areas in Dallas. So I got to go in the store, get a travel size of this, and also some samples. It was a really pretty store that they do facials, but I digress. This cleanser is amazing. So it's a powder, and you put a little bit in your palm and you add some water, and the powder gets pasty, but then when you put it on your face, you add a bit more water, it does get a little sudsy. But when I say this thing breaks down everything, like this is the one cleanser that after I rinse and I wipe my skin, it actually feels squeaky clean. Like I can actually feel it, hear it squeak. So this enzyme cleanser, and I use the one for darker skin tones, although when I was at the store in Dallas, the associate told me they're actually the same formula. They have this formula and they have one marketed as their standard, but she said it's the same thing. So just so you know. But I swear by this. Now, this is on a higher end side, but well worth it, especially if you're just using it once a day, you're using it as your final step, and you're able to let it sit on your skin for 20 or 30 minutes after you've rubbed it in order to actually do the work of exfoliating your skin. So really good cleanser, I recommend. Now, after like between the washes and the different steps of using my 2 washes, I don't use a washcloth. Like I said, I use lukewarm water, but what I use is this Clean Skin Club. It's the disposable biodegradable face cloths. You can buy these in Target. I buy mine from Amazon. I get a monthly supply from Amazon, but I use 2 of these a day. One in the morning when I'm rinsing my face, or if I'm using a cleanser, I use it with that, and then one at night. But I like this because in addition to it just being something I can grab and go, I know that it's clean. I know that it's not like a bacteria producing or carrying washcloth. These travel really easily in a Ziploc bag, and I feel really good about using this. And then when it's all said and done, I wipe down my sink in my bathroom and I toss it. So I use these. Okay, so that's the cleansing part. So now let's jump into my toners. So in the Face Reality, and I promise this is not sponsored by Face Reality. I just love the products that much, and they have been game changing for me and my skin. So in the Face Reality collection, they've got several toners. I swap between 2 of them. So the one I primarily use, because once again, I'm acne prone and I have oily skin. The one I primarily use is their Sal C toner, okay? It has salicylic acid in it. It helps with the pores. It has that active in it. And so I use this day and night, typically almost every day, unless I've done like a harsh peel or I've done something extreme to my skin. And then if I feel like my skin needs more nourishment and rest, then it needs another layer of an active, I'll use a Face Reality Soothing Radiance Toner, if you can see that. And this one calms and nourishes. And you definitely feel that when you use it. You can definitely feel the difference between these two. And for the record, I believe toners are meant to be applied to your skin and help your skin to absorb them and also remove any potentially residual dirt or grime. And so I always apply my toners with one of these cotton rounds. I know some people will put the toner in their hand and splash or pat it in. I find and feel it's more effective when I use it as, I won't say a third cleanser, but a third step in just kind of making sure I have any dirt or grime or any things that's clogging my pores removed. So I use these two toners, with the Sal C Active Toner being the one I primarily use. Okay, so we've washed, we've toned, and then next are going to be the serums and the treatments. So for me, I use a different serum at night than I use in the morning. And depending on the time of year, I may moisturize or hydrate in some way, but I typically only do that based on the season. So let's start with the serums first, and then I'll talk about the moisture stuff. So for the serums, I use at night this 11% L-Mandelic serum. So it has the mandelic acid, just like my cleanser does. And after I've washed, after I've applied my toner, I will then use this, a really small pump, a little goes a long way, and I'll put this all over my face and I'll work down my neck into the top of my chest. I use the 11%, and I believe this goes up to 15%. And so over the years that I've been using it, I started out at the lowest and I've gradually worked my way up. And I've been holding pretty steady at 11% for like the last 2 years. I feel like it does enough to keep any of my acne at bay. And it helps to brighten my skin. So it is known as an exfoliator, right? I mean, mandelic acid, like all of the acids are some level of an active exfoliator. And so this does a really good job of working at night after I've washed and toned my face. Now, during the day, as my serum, I use this Osmosis Correct, okay? This is also an active serum. It has retin A in it. And this is not cheap. I'm going to tell you, out of all of the skincare, this and the Dr. Sturm exfoliating cleanser are probably the ones that will I won't say break the bank, but they're definitely an investment, if you will. But with this and the Dr. Sturm exfoliator, a little goes a long way. And so what I do is I use this during the day before I put on my sunscreen or any moisturizer. And this works really well to just make sure that cellular turnover is happening on my face. It does give me a little bit of a glow, but then it doesn't last long because of the sunscreen I use, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But this is a really good quality. I mean, this is probably like my 5th or 6th bottle. They changed the packaging. It used to be black, but I love this serum. So this is what I use during the day as part of my routine. Now, like I said, if it's cold and it's dry, I particularly had to do this when I was in Arizona a year ago for a trip with my husband. If I know I'm going to a dry, arid location, or the weather, it's winter time, or the seasons are changing, or I've done something extreme like a peel, I will moisturize. And I have 2 attacks for moisture depending on what I need. Because like I said, my skin's naturally oily. So I don't use moisturizer on my skin every day. I just don't need to. And so if I'm just a little dry and I feel like my skin needs a little bit of support, I will use the Face Reality Hydra Remedy Gel Serum. So it has hyaluronic acid in it, and so it acts as a humectant, and so it'll take whatever moisture is in the air and just kind of make sure your skin stays plump and juicy and moisturized. So I will occasionally use this if the occasion calls for it. Now, if it's like dead winter, it's cold, we have all the heaters on in the house, we're working the fireplaces, my skin will tend to get dry. And so I don't use it during the day, but I will use it at night. And I will use the Cran Peptide Cream. It's an oil-free cream that is from Face Reality as well. And it's creamy, but it's not too heavy. And so I will use this in addition to the Hydra Remedy Gel Serum if I need it. And it calls my skin requires it. But so those are the moisturizers that I use. One thing I did want to share, I haven't used this in a while, but I still had a bottle of it. I need to check to see if it's expired or not. But when I did have active acne, I don't really have a lot of active acne anymore because of my consistency with using these Face Reality products, the double washing, some of the other things I want to show you. I don't have active breakouts anymore. Now I will every now and then get a pimple here or there, and then with that I might use a pimple patch or apply this. And this is the 2.5% Acne Med. It has benzoyl peroxide in it. So when you work with your Face Reality consultant, if you choose to, and if you have acne, she may start you out on this Acne Med. And just like the Mandelic Serum, this Acne Med has multiple levels within the Face Reality system. But I'm at the 2.5%, at least I was when I was actively using it. And I still keep it around when I need it, but I haven't used this in probably 6 months, guys. So this is just something I keep around. But just wanted to share this so you sort of know what to expect with the Face Reality system. And they do have a very active and very effective Acne Med. Okay, so all of that is the cleansing, the toning, the serums, the moisturizing, the treatments as far as from acne medicine. And so during the day, so for the most part, the products I shared with you for my nighttime routine, that's the gist of the products that I use on my face, okay? Now, if I'm going out or it's in the morning, and even if I'm staying home and I'm just working from my home office, I always put on sunscreen. Super important, especially when you use as many actives as I do, especially when you want to protect your skin from the aging and the wrinkles and all of that. I say use sunscreen every day. If the sun's out, use sunscreen. Even if it's cloudy, use something on your skin that's going to protect you from those UV rays. And so what I have discovered over the last couple of years, I think this is a new product maybe within the last couple of years ago, last couple of years. But Face Reality has a mineral matte SPF 28 sunscreen. Now, before this came out, I was using Elta MD, the tinted sunscreen, which I loved. And so, but what I've noticed with that one is it doesn't give you a white cast because I use the tinted one, but it doesn't help control my oil. Like I said, I am naturally oily. So I'm naturally oily. So what I would find is I would use like Elta MD, and then I'd have to use a mattifying primer before I did any makeup of anything, right? Whether that was just like liquid drops or a full face with foundation, I would have to use something to still control the shine. But this one from Face Reality, it's SPF 28. It's a mineral sunscreen, and it's mattifying. And when I tell you that this thing works, it works. I use this every day, and I like it because when I wear makeup, I don't have to wear a primer before I put on my foundation or my concealer. Like, this does a really good job of keeping my level of oiliness under control. So this is the Mineral Matte SPF 28 Face Reality sunscreen. And like I said, I will link these below, but I love this sunscreen and I use this every day. All right, so a couple other things that I use as part of my skincare routine. So I get facials about once a quarter now. And for me, a facial isn't like just like super luxurious spa treatment because my skin is oily and very acne prone. I only get facials one place, and that's at the esthetician that is Face Reality certified. And when I do a facial there, it's a peel. So once you have migrated from some of the acne meds and your skin's ready to do the peeling, you have several layers of peels. I'm like on level 3 right now, but I do a quarterly peel facial with them. And so it includes, the double washing, the extractions, some LED light therapy, and the peel. And so I do that quarterly, and that works for like a really deep turnover type of peel. But during those 3 months between my one facial to the next facial, if I feel like I want a pick me up, or I feel like I want to get ready for an event, or let's say I went on a vacation and I didn't eat the best and I had tons of exposure to sun and to salt and to sand and just all this other stuff, and my skin is looking like it, I will do a peel at home. And what I've been using, this is like my 4th box of it, is this Dr. Dennis Gross Extra Strength Daily Peel. I love this. I get this from good old Amazon. And what it is it's very unassuming. You want to wash your face. You want to make sure it's dry. You don't want to put any actives on it. Just wash your face and dry it. And it comes in these 2 packets. This is step 1 and this is step 2. Step 1 is the actual peel. So you apply it to your face. You let it sit for 2 minutes. Be very careful to avoid like your under eyes and the sensitive parts of your face. But let it sit for 2 minutes. And then you go over it with the second pad, which is like the neutralizer. And this works extremely well. I use this probably once or twice a month during those 3 months between my peels if I need to. But I love them. Again, in this instance, it came in a box of 5. But yeah, this is the Dennis Gross Extra Strength Alpha Beta Daily Peel. Very good stuff. So that's the skin stuff. Now, to augment that, because your lips are on your face, I will share a couple things that I'm doing. So for the most part, and I might have shared this in one of my Getting Ready With Me videos, I love this Tatcha lip mask. It comes with like a little spoon that you can dig out of the pot and apply to your lips. I really don't use it. I use my finger. But this is like my 4th jar of this. Like, I love it. It's rich. It's creamy. I've tried to use less expensive versions. It just doesn't hit like this. Like, this is a really good and nourishing lip mask. I mostly use it at night. Sometimes I will use it during the day if I'm not applying a lipstick or a lip gloss, but this is a really great nourishing lip mask. So I will at night apply this, but I have been experimenting with a new product. So I discovered this, I'm pretty sure it was on Instagram, but The Ordinary has this PHA exfoliating lip serum. And so you're supposed to apply it like every other night to your lip. It's like really thick. It's like a thick sort of like gel. It doesn't really have a taste to me, but as soon as I put it on, I feel like it's like super nourishing. So what I've done is like every other night, I'll put this on first. It's like it comes with a little dropper, and it's like a little jelly situation. But I'll add that to my lips, let it sink in for a few minutes, and then I'll go over it with my Tatcha lip mask. But I've been using this. So the jury's still out on whether or not it's earth-changing or mind-blowing, but so far I can't say it's bad because it's been keeping up with my lip mask. So those are the products that I use. Now, a couple things, a few more things to share with you. Every night, if not every other night, I'd say at a minimum 5 times a week, I will use my LED face mask. So I typically will, at night, go through the steps of double washing, applying my toner, then using the mask, and then applying my serum, okay? So I don't apply my serum before this. I guess you could, but I just like the idea of having that serum as that final step before I go to bed. But I love this mask. I've had this mask for over a year. It's the Shark Cryo Mask. And what I like about this is that it has timed routines. So depending on your goals, you can use the skin clearing 8-minute routine that eliminates acne and bacteria. They have a 4-minute skin sustain routine that maintains smooth, even skin and gives you a glow. And then they also have an under eye revive. You'll notice this mask has like these extra pads under the eyes. Show you here. So they get cool if you choose a cool setting. Really nice if you're someone that is prone to getting like, puffy eyes. I don't really use those too often because it can get really cold. It's like 3 levels of cold actually, but that's an option if you want to do that for 5 to 15 minutes. And then the fourth one is the better aging routine. So it uses a combination, I believe, of like the red and the blue lights to smooth lines and wrinkles and help firm your skin. So for me, I'll play around with it, but typically I'll do 2 or 3 of those routines at night after I've cleansed and toned and before I put on my serum. But I use this pretty frequently. I definitely feel like I've gotten my money's worth out of the Shark mask. So so those are the products that I use for my facial and for my face routine and for my LED and my masks. But two more things I want to share with you that I feel has made the most difference in my skin. It's going to be collagen. Okay. As you get older, your estrogen dips, and your estrogen does so many things for you, but one of them is actually it helps to maintain and produce collagen in your body. So as a woman in perimenopause and menopause, your body's not producing a level of collagen that it used to. So you may notice sagging skin, you may notice more wrinkles, you may notice looseness, right, in your skin and on your body where you didn't used to have the looseness. It's natural. It's obviously what happens with aging. But one of the things that I've decided is that I'm not going out without a fight, okay? And so I am going to take all the collagen. And when I say all the collagen, I mean all the collagen. So I use two forms of collagen. The first is the Vital Proteins. I have used this for a couple years, but I've also switched to others. But I always come back to this one. One, is easy to find. Two, it melts flawlessly into my coffee, which is how I ingest my collagen in the morning. I mean, you don't taste it. I mean, you can put it in a glass of water and you won't taste it. It just like, it melts perfectly. And some of the other collagens I've tried haven't. And then also, it's affordable. So I get this either from like Costco or from Walgreens, but I put 4 tablespoons of this in my coffee in the morning. It gives me a protein kick and it helps there. But also something I've discovered, and you may have seen this like advertised all over like the TikTok and Instagram, is these packets of Array. So Array is something that I love because not only does it have, first of all, it tastes really good. It's like a raspberry sort of yuzu, sort of sweet but tart but tangy taste. It's delicious. Now, this doesn't dissolve as easily. I have to put this in a shaker bottle and then put it over ice, but it tastes amazing. It has 15 grams of collagen, and it has electrolytes in it. So I love this because I feel like getting this as well as the Vital Proteins collagen means that I'm supporting my skin from the inside out. And I really feel good about that. So, so once again, this is my 48-year-old skincare routine to stay pretty AF. Some of you may think this is a lot. Some of you may actually say, girl, you're not doing enough. You need to be doing this, that, and that. And if you're saying that, you might be right. But for now, this is where I am. And I am exploring so many other things to try in the upcoming months that I want to share with you. But I won't give any away now. I'm gonna wait until a later video to share with you what I'm going to be testing and trying out and taking you along with me on the journey for. But in the meantime, look out for the other series, the other episodes in this series of things that I do to stay pretty AF. I'm going to do body care, like I said. I'm going to do weight management and supplements. We're going to talk about our aesthetic things, like, we're going to talk about all the things that we do on top of the skincare, the weight, and the supplements and the body stuff. And then we're going to go through some of those experimental things that I'm going to try. So I hope that you like this video. If you want to comment something, I would love to hear, what is the one thing in your current mature skincare routine that you couldn't live without? Like, if I had to choose one single thing that I just showed you, that if I was stuck on an island and I could only take one thing with me, I would have to say it would be this Dr. Serum cleanser. I'd have to take this with me. I feel this does enough to exfoliate. It does enough to cleanse. It doesn't dry me out. Like this is like my second or third bottle of this. I live by this. So I definitely would take this. But I would love to know, what would be your one skincare product that you would take with you? Now that I think about it, I should have probably said sunscreen because you're on an island. It's going to probably be sunny, but I know I'm going to stick with the cleanser. So anyway, please subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos in this upcoming series. And also so you can just get like travel content and lifestyle, and we can have fun over here, and you can become one of the Glowells. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.